New York?
Well, JD, thanks for asking. As usual, here in the apartment in New York, we have a lot of terrific appraisals coming your way.
Better up, Sean. We've got a winning show for you on today's Personal FX.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's Personal FX, the Collectibles show. Meet two people that have stopped by to have their items appraised on live television. This is Jackie. Hi, Jackie. How are you?
Nice
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What are you going to have appraised today?
It's a Goofy doll. I got it at auction.
Yeah? Do people ever look at this and say, gee, that doll is really kind of goofy? Glad you're here today. Thanks. You brought your mom, too, didn't you?
Yep.
Is it Linda, is it?
Linda, yes.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Same here.
What are you going to have appraised?
I have a Beatle ornament that I got in 1995 at a doll show.
Now, you saw them in concert, did you not?
Yes, I did at Shea Stadium.
How was that?
Awesome.
Was that great?
Yes,
That just
it
must
was
have been
wonderful.
Fun. Glad you're here today.
Thank you.
If you'd like to be a guest in our FX apartment and have something appraised, give us a call, 1-800-FX-FX-FX1, and we will set it up. All right, it's called FanFest. It's out in Cleveland, Ohio. It started on Friday, and it leads right up to the All-Star game. A lot of terrific baseball memorabilia out there. JD stopped by, and this is what he found.
You can see the pitcher's mound, and this is a place where fans can come and get tips from players, managers, and other experts in the game. But what we're going to do throughout the show is we're going to take you through FanFest 97 and see what this thing is all about. We're also going to see items from the Baseball Hall of Fame. We're going to meet an old-timer and actually see how a bat is made. So that's all coming up from Cleveland later on in the show.
That is going to be great. We're going to take a look at Lou Gehrig's first baseman's mitt. We're going to see some stuff from the Negro League. It's going to be terrific. In the meantime, let's get into some appraisals. Claire, who are the appraisers today?
Well, John, I know one of the appraisers is a big baseball fan. I have to check out the other. Pat Dudley, you are the big baseball fan, are you not?
Big Yankee fan.
Okay.
I shouldn't say that in Cleveland. Sorry.
It's okay. What about you, John Bruno?
The old days, the old Brooklyn Dodgers. Beyond that, there's no other team.
Okay, we're going to have a great
Yeah,
show.
a lot of fun.
And our first appraisal of the day belongs to Joanne. Hi, Joanne. Welcome to the
Hi.
program.
Thanks.
Are you big on collecting?
I like to collect. I like garage sales, yard sales. My car does U-turns automatically.
Good for
to get
you.
to a yard
Did you
sale.
do some over the weekend?
Yes, I did.
You found some good things.
Yes, I did.
What would you like us to appraise for you today?
I have a watch that I bought at an estate sale.
Do you get good buys at these estate sales?
Yes, I hope so. I think a lot of times. Yes.
We'll find out.
This is lovely, a classic Art Deco design.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, very beautiful ladies' watch. Looks like a white gold with
Black enameling.
black enameling in
and
here.
a little cabochon sapphire at the
Yep.
stem.
Cabochon?
Cabochon.
Cabochon.
Right.
Go ahead.
Polished and uncut.
It's the shape of the stone rather than the type of stone. It looks like a classic generic style, generic watch. I don't see any name on it of any sort.
There is a name on the movement. It's Abar, I believe.
Ah, okay.
Probably from the 30s. There was a great deal of competition between the American and the Swiss market for wristwatches at this particular time in the 20s and early 30s. So this is, in a sense, a generic watch because it is a lesser-known Swiss company.
So a lot of them were done at that time?
Yes,
What
17 jewels, by the way.
Wristwatches only started during World War I, so this was still kind of a fad in the 1920s and 30s, so people were buying them up, all different styles to dress with and accessorize. Exactly.
The case appears to be an 18-karat, but the band, I don't believe is. It's a steel band.
Steel band, yeah.
We want to see what a good deal Joanne got. So what do you think it's worth?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, just from the design value and the look, it's worth around 100 and a quarter to 145.
Up to 175, I would
Okay,
think.
yeah. Nice
Now we
one.
need.
happy.
You're happy?
Yes,
Do you
that's
mind
great.
telling us what you paid?
$15.
You should
Oh,
be very happy. Well, you know how the show works. You can put this up for sale. If
I
you
would.
like.
I will.
We'll do
I
that
would
for
like
you.
to.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I like that you do a U-turn for garage sale. And our number to call, this is the bid number for any or all items up for sale throughout the show, is 212-802-0082. And Donna is our next guest. Hi, Donna.
Hi.
Good to have you with us.
Nice to be here.
Had those dolls a long time?
Yes, I have. This was my very first Barbie. I got this for a birthday gift back in the early 60s. I think it's one of the earlier ones.
And you played with her for years?
Well, for a number of years. And I got this one, probably came out a little later.
The bubble cut. This one, I think, is from about 1961. I think this is the third Barbie.
Third Barbie, yeah.
I believe so.
How do you know third Barbie?
Well, the first one is very similar to this, but she has very pointed eyebrows, and she has white iris.
Yeah. That's what I give
Irises.
away. White iris in the eyes, the pointed eyebrows, and you can pretty much tell by looking underneath the bathing suit. And it gives you some information there on when the doll was actually made.
And the bubble cut was a particular hairstyle that was very popular at the time. So, and they're in very good condition.
They are.
But what's more interesting, actually, than the dolls are all the clothes that you have for Barbie, all the outfits.
Collectors would rather find the clothes
Yes,
at this point?
in good condition, and these are in wonderful condition. This one has a little Carmen Miranda pocketbook, as I would call, with little wedgies and little sundresses and
We have little
stoles.
stoles with matching evening bags.
She's very well dressed.
You
These
kept
are
them in
grand.
bags all this time?
They like a freezer bird.
Just to bring them in.
Okay.
These are what the kids destroy when they play with them. They rip them, they tear them, they futz with them, and to get the outfits, especially with the matching books and everything,
Yes.
this is absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
The dolls, I think this one, if it is the number 3, and I'm pretty sure it is, it's running around 300, 350, I believe, today.
In perfect condition. That's
Condition.
mint in box, actually. I would say
Yeah.
a bit less
Okay.
without the box in play condition.
And the bubble cut is probably somewhere around 175.
I'm going to be a little more conservative.
All right, be
than
like
that.
Go right ahead with the clothes.
Okay. Now the clothes, go ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half outfits, and we're going to have to do this quickly, I guess. Maybe about 35, I think, per freezer bag.
Per set, 35% plus the dolls. So do the math, and we can figure the whole thing out. 35 times 6, right? That's 108,
So a little over 200.
And 3, 200, 300, 400, 5, 6, around 650, 700 for the whole unit.
5 to 6, I think.
So
There you
now
go.
that you know, what would you like to do?
Oh, I'll be very happy to see if someone would like to buy them.
Cool.
Okay, we'll be happy to do that.
Okay.
And I think, John, you were over there adding that all up real
Yeah.
quickly, John.
That's a lot of fun. I'll tell you what else is a lot of fun. FanFest out in Cleveland, Ohio. JD was out there recently learning all about the history of baseball.
Hey, John, this season marks the 50th anniversary of Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier in Major League Baseball. But before he played for the Brooklyn Dodgers, he played in the Negro Leagues. When we come back, we're going to see a special exhibit that salutes the men who paved the way. It's all coming up next on Personal FX.
Hi, I'm David Cohn of the New York Yankees, and you're watching the All-Star FanFest on Personal FX.
David Cohn, star pitcher for the Yankees. Of course, he won the World Series not only for the New York Yankees, but when he played for the New York Mets, he won a World Series for them. And we are at All-Star FanFest. John Davis actually is there today, and he's learning more about the Negro Leagues. And who better to learn from than a man who is the All-Star catcher for the leagues? JD, tell us more.
Hey, Claire, behind me are the logos of the 16 teams that comprise the Negro League from the turn of the century until 1960. But from 1943 to 1945, there was a catcher on this team, the Kansas City Monarchs, and he was none other than this man right here, Sammy Haynes. Mr. Haynes, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Great. It's my pleasure.
And this is Mr. Haynes' daughter, Marie. How are you?
I'm just fine, thank you.
You must be proud of your dad.
Indeed I am.
Well, there's a great display of memorabilia here, so let's take a look at it. Mr. Haynes, what is your fondest memory of playing in the league?
Well, my fondest memory, the Kansas City Monarchs. I played with the Kansas City Monarchs. We were playing the home set grades in Washington, D.C. at the old Griffith Stadium. It was 1 out, last half of the 9th inning, and Josh Gibson was up at the bat, and Cool Papa Bale was on first base. 1 out, 3-2 pitch on Josh. Thatcher threw him his fastball, struck him out, and I threw Cool Pop out at second base. In my opinion, I was catching the greatest pitcher who ever lived against the greatest hitter, Josh Gibson, and the fastest man in baseball, Cool Papa Bell, and I throw him out.
Wow.
We beat him 1-0.
That's great. And you said that you thought Josh Gibson, and we have a display here of Josh Gibson's. You say he was the greatest hitter you've ever seen.
Not only the greatest hitter, I think it was the greatest baseball player who ever lived.
Wow.
Powerful hitter, hard to strike out, great throwing arm, fast, good pair of hands, great ball player.
And if we look down the line here, there's an exhibit for Satchel Paige. Tell me about him.
Satchel Paige, in my opinion, was the greatest pitcher who ever lived. Number one, he had the fastest fastball. He threw sidearm to right-hand hitters, three-quarters to left-hand hitters, and he threw all his pitches on the same motion. Change-up, curveball, slider, everything on the same motion. But he had excellent control, pinpoint control. That's what made him so great.
And they said he was so fast he could turn out the lights and hit the bed before the room went dark.
That was Cool Papa Bell.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. He was quick.
Now, did you save anything from your days in the league?
Yes, I saved my baseball glove and just a few things, pitchers and what have you.
And you had mentioned Cool Papa Bell, the fastest man around. Why'd they call him Cool Papa?
He had very little to say, and he spoke very, very softly.
But it was cool when he
It was
spoke.
cool, yes, but he could fly.
Wow. Those memories must be incredible for you.
Fond memories. I'll never forget them. Fondest memories of my life playing in the Negro League.
And when you were with the Kansas City Monarchs, you were on the team when Jackie Robinson was there. What was that like?
Jackie Robinson was, in my opinion, one of the greatest athletes to ever live. He played shortstop for us. He learned a lot when he was in Kansas City. He was the type guy, he would listen to anybody. Not only that, you could teach him something, he'd turn around and beat you doing it.
Now, Claire, look, you'll see Jackie Robinson's photo right there. And then if you look down on the end, that is Sammy Haines right there. Well, Mr. Haines, thank you so much for joining us and taking us through this exhibit.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Marie, for your help.
You're more than welcome.
Okay, Claire, from Cleveland, Ohio, it's back to you.
Thanks, J.D., and thanks to Sammy Haines. John, I think you could spend a week or more just listening to the stories of Sammy Haines.
Boy, the history.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool Papa, because he didn't say much. What does that say about me? I don't know. Let's Pat has joined us to have an item of praise. Hi, Pat. How are you, sir?
Fine.
Nice to
How are
meet you.
you?
Where are you from?
New York.
Glad you're here.
Neighbor.
Tell us what you brought.
Well, this has been hanging around longer than I can remember. It's a Nippon vase, and I was told it's beautiful, and I was told that it may be worth something.
Interesting, because it was imported by the Moore brothers, the M in the Laurel Root, who were here in New York.
Oh.
Yep. And this was made somewhere between 1890 and 1921. It is both hand-painted, enameled, and transfer printed as well, with gilding.
It's a very interesting motif, shape to the vase. You don't really often see these handles, that sort of Greek influence.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. The very plain ones, and to have both the transfer and the hand painting. It's a nice little vase.
It's in good condition,
Yeah.
with the exception of some gold missing on the handles, or just worn. Not
Just worn,
yeah.
just from being touched, and that will happen.
Yeah.
Probably worth somewhere around $2, $2.25.
I'm going to be a little bit more conservative in the $150 range.
Yeah,
I think.
same spread, yeah.
All right.
It's such good shape.
Thank you.
Well, it is. Is it rare to see it in such good shape? As you mentioned, the handles, because that's what's
It's funny.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say that when these were first made, I don't think there was such attention to detail to make them last. They were made to be imported, they were decorative, they were fairly affordable, so there wasn't, the effort wasn't put into it. So to have one stay with all the enameling and all the gold work and no chips, I think that's fairly rare.
Okay.
The coloration on this is quite nice, too.
Do you want to see if anybody wants to buy it, or do you want to keep it?
Well, I'll be interested to see if I can get a bid.
Okay.
We'll take some bids. We'll let you know.
Good.
Thank you, sir, very
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate that.
Bye.
And that number to call in case you want to place a bid on that or anything else up for sale on today's show is 212-802-0082. And Bill has joined us. Yeah. Hi, Bill. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Good. Where are you from?
Manhattan.
Welcome. Now, what did you bring to have a praise today?
There's some pearl-handled knives. I don't know their exact purpose.
Boy, this box is something just on its own.
It's quite a lovely presentation set, which was popular really in the late 19th century. These are mother-pearl-handled fruit knives, an entire set. The mark would indicate that they were made by the Meriden Cutlery Company in Meriden, Connecticut. And these are an electroplated blade. These were really from a period, the Victorian period, when there was an implement for every purpose or every food on the table, and fruit was an actual course that was served, a whole fruit that was an actual course as part of a meal. And so you have these lovely knives that were used, and they are collectible because that the whole phenomenon of the large services is now very popular, and it's cross-collectible because it's also mother of pearl handle.
Something we don't do anymore. There were fish sets, there were special ice cream sets, dessert sets, mayonnaise serving sets. We've fallen away from that, and as a result, those of us who appreciate it do look to collect and get many of these matching sets as we possibly can. It's a lot of
Mayonnaise
fun.
serving set.
Mayonnaise, when it was first invented or first brought to the public, was a whole separate condiment. It was a very fancy special condiment because it would spoil very quickly, and it was made fresh. So you would have these beautiful serving things. Same with fruit, these beautiful knives and fork sets to cut fruit. Often the blades are treated so that when you cut the fruit, they won't rust. That's what causes it to rust, is when the acid from the fruit knife or from the blade itself. So
For the value?
Set something like this, probably somewhere around 75 to 100 and a quarter, in that range.
I would say 150 to 175 because this is a presentation set in the original box and in wonderful condition.
Do you want to take some bids? You want to keep it?
I'd be interested in hearing what the bids are, yes.
Well, you can take the bids. You can always say no. Sure. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right. Starting first baseman for the American League Tuesday night All-Star game. You know who it is?
Don't have a clue.
Don't have a clue. We were out at Yankee Stadium the other day and borrowed about 5 minutes of his time. Dino, take it away.
Hi, I'm Dino Martinez of the New York Yankees, and you're watching the All-Star FanFest on Personal FX.
Did you know that a 1961 Mickey Mantle jersey sold at a recent auction for $57,500? That was the jersey that he wore when he played at home for the New York Yankees. And did you know that today's Did You Know was brought to you by Centrum?
Thank you for all those Did You Know.
You're welcome.
And one day somebody else will auction it off, and that shirt will go for who knows what.
Exactly.
Let's tell you about some of the items that are up for sale right now, starting out with a ladies' watch. Dates back to about the 1930s, a generic watch for that time, 18-karat white gold with black enameling, and it has an appraised value of $125 to $175, but I guess did real well because she paid a whole lot less at the sale. Good. And then we have the 1960s Barbies with the accessories. We've got the bubble cut and the ponytail Barbie, but apparently it's the clothing that collectors really want, and the clothes and accessories are wonderful. They've been appraised at $500 to $700 for all.
We also have the Nippon vase, and this is hand-painted and has transfer wear on it from 1890 to 1921, and it's in good shape, and that was appraised at $150 to $225. And last but not least, we have the fruit knives, and they're mother-of-pearl handles here, Victorian era, and that was appraised at $75 to $175 for the set there.
So if you'd like any of these items, here's what you do. It's not too late to call us at 212-802-0082. It's fun being at this whole baseball fan fest.
Yes. Fan fest, you're talking baseball, and if you talk baseball, you have to talk Cooperstown.
Absolutely.
Well, Cooperstown has a big display out there at Fan Fest, and JD took a look. This is what he saw.
Hey, John and Claire, we all know that Cooperstown, New York was the birthplace of baseball, and it's the home of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Well, here at the Fan Fest, the Hall of Fame has brought in over 100 items that they have on display here, and this is Peter Clark. He's the assistant curator at the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Now, how did you decide which 100 items to bring?
Well, we tried to pick out about the 100 best items that we had that were not on exhibit in Cooperstown, and that Cleveland fans would really enjoy seeing.
All right, let's start with the benches here, the Ebbets Field benches. Tell us about these.
Well, these are benches for our seats, actually, from the opening of Ebbets Field in 1913, and were taken out when the stadium was raised in '57. But notice how small the seats are compared to today's stadium seats. I don't think your fans today would be able to sit here with any kind of comfort.
And are there any other seats? Do a lot of these seats exist?
Some collectors have some out there. We've seen them advertised, but not too many.
Okay, and another thing, when you think about the Hall of Fame, you think about equipment and uniforms. Now tell us about Lou Gehrig's uniform here.
Well, this is Gehrig's home uniform, home Yankee uniform from 1939, and that was, of course, the last year that he played. And it's a home flannel, heavy wool flannel, which today's players would probably not even dare to put on.
They would put it in their contract that they didn't have to wear that, right?
Exactly, exactly.
And then look at the mitt over there.
That, believe it or not, is a first baseman's glove, which Gehrig wore on a tour to Japan in 1932. It's a really old first baseman's mitt.
Wow. There are so many great items here. Now, where do you get most of your items for the Hall of Fame?
Most all of them come from the fans, baseball officials, fans of the game. We also get a lot of things from the teams today.
But really, you get your best stuff from fans, right?
Exactly. People's
right.
addicts.
There's an interesting story about the Cy Young jersey. Tell us about this, the uniform.
That's right. That uniform jersey was donated to the museum by the Emmett Heydrich family. Emmett Heydrich played on the 1888 Cleveland National League team. And after we got it in, about 5 or 10 years later, we looked under the label and it had the initials D. Denton True Young, DTY. And so we know that Cy Young probably wore that jersey with the Cleveland Nationals.
Wow, and you had no idea it was his when you got it, right?
No idea.
And then look down here, you have all the programs from the very first World Series, and you probably have everyone imaginable at the Hall of Fame, right?
We do. We have all the World Series represented right from the very first one right up.
Do you have any Cleveland-specific items?
We have quite a bit of photos here, quite a number of them that are either World Series winning teams or pennant winning teams. This particular shot here is of the 20 Cleveland Indians. Tris Speaker, a Hall of Famer, is right in the center of the first row.
Wow. And of course the Cleveland fans love this.
Oh, they really love these photographs. These are great.
We have found that this is a very big baseball town, a very big sports town. And look at this, Ted Williams, Boston Red Sox uniform. Tell us about this one.
Well, that's his 42 uniform from the Red Sox. Just before he went into World War II, joined the Marines and was a fighter pilot. And it's really in pretty good shape for being that old.
Well, we have a lot of baseball memorabilia collectors watching at home right now, salivating over what they've seen. But look at this. Check out this locker. A Yankee Stadium locker with all Babe Ruth's items in it. Tell us about the items inside.
These are all Ruth's items, his cap, his #3 uniform jersey, one of his bats, his glove from 1927 when they won the World Series, and his spikes on the floor of the locker there, which were his last spikes. So it's a tremendous collection.
It's amazing how many Babe Ruth items are out there, though.
There are an awful lot of autographed baseballs out there, amongst other things, but the prices on these collectibles today are out of sight.
Now, it's interesting because you told me you've been with the Hall of Fame for 27 years, and you studied museum, being a curator and doing all of that, but you were also a baseball fan, so this was a perfect job for you.
Tremendous job. I think I have the best job in the world, really. Nobody can believe it when they talk to me. It combines two loves of mine, museums and baseball. So.
Well, listen, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for sharing these items with not just us, but all the people here at FanFest. So from downtown Cleveland, back to you guys.
Wasn't that great?
Oh, that is marvelous. He's got the best job in America. But I like when the baseball players are posing. They just, they have this kind of position just like that.
Yeah, and I like those old uniforms that you were...
Garrick's uniform.
Isn't that something, that flannel that they used to wear? Gosh, that is amazing.
Priceless.
Priceless. Well, stick around, folks. We have more appraisals coming your way. And, of course, before we go, we asked some of Major League Baseball's finest what they collect. And some of it, well, is not usual. Take a look at this.
I collect taxidermy heads. I do a lot of hunting and fishing, and that's one of my big collections. I probably have anywhere from 80 to 90 taxidermied animals.
I collect a lot of old memorabilia like Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig. You know, Babe Ruth's really hard to come by, but you know, really all the items that are treasured nowadays.
I have a couple things. You know, I like to get, you know, like at the All-Star games, I like to get a ball with all the pitchers on it. You know, not the hitters, you know, forget those guys. Just get the pitchers on there and have the pitching coach sign it too. And, you know, every game I've been to, I've got my ball. I've got my little collection, my, you know, memory lane thing.
Hi, this is Brooks Robinson of the Baseball Hall of Fame, and I understand what it is to be on the road all the time, but no one travels more than Personal FX, and here's where the show is heading. July the 14th to the 18th, Tucson, Arizona, July 21st to the 25th, Tampa, Florida, and July 28th to August the 1st in Wichita, Kansas.
He did a great job, did he not?
Yes, he did.
Of course, he used to do a great job as third baseman for the Baltimore Orioles. One thing, John, is we need to give out our number.
All right.
1-800-FX-FX-FX1 if you want to call us.
What more can you say? But gee, thanks, Brooks. Which leads me to my next point.
What?
In 1971, the Rawlings Company had a picture made of him by, it was commissioned by the Rawlings Company by Norman Rockwell of Brooks Robinson. In 1994, he bought it back for $200,000,
really?
and he has loaned it to the Rawlings Company for FanFest. He's walking around FanFest with this big thing, and the title of it is called Gee, Thanks, Brooks. So there you go. Very nice.
How special to have had Norman Rockwell do
Yeah,
a portrait.
yeah.
And let's get back to the appraisals. Ray is joining us right now in the rec room. Ed, come on in, and let's see what you brought.
Good to see you.
Hi, good to see you too. What have you got?
Matchbox cars that were mine from when I was a child. And they would come out at Christmas time, basically, to be put under the tree back in the late 1950s or so. And my mother recently cleaned some things out of the attic, and here were the Matchbox cars.
And they have some good mileage on them since
Very
then?
low mileage.
Low mileage.
Very low mileage. So do the boxes have very low mileage.
Yeah.
They're in remarkable condition.
Yeah, they're almost
absolutely remarkable. Yeah. These are really nifty ones because they are the earlier ones. We have an SO truck. Look at the color of that convertible.
I know, isn't that
Doesn't
wonderful?
absolutely bespeak the 1950s?
That is so cool.
So the early ones are the ones collectors would much rather have?
Not
or what?
necessarily. But these are harder to find.
They're the more definitive. They're when Matchbox first started, and everybody loves 50s cars. I mean, what's not to love? What's interesting is that most of these, I think, all except this one, are British cars, English cars. This is the only American car that we have
well,
here.
it's both a British and an American company,
Yeah.
Lesney. So,
Any difference in value between the two?
Not really, no.
I don't think so. I think a hardcore American collector might want an American convertible as opposed to a Ford Zephyr, but who knows?
Are those wheels metal, or are those?
Yes, these are metal.
These are metal wheels,
yes,
yeah.
The earlier ones are metal. These are really in absolutely remarkable conditions. I've never seen Matchbox, the early Matchbox cars in this condition.
Did you not
in the
play with
original
them?
Boxes.
They were just put out at Christmas.
Oh,
and that was
okay.
it. That was
Yeah.
it. Right.
So how much are they worth?
Well, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and actually, they normally sell for a median price of around $20, but these are in such remarkable shape, and in the boxes are so remarkable that I think we have a rather large premium on them. So I think maybe $50.
I would go in the $50 to $75 tops range each. These are just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
So you're looking at 250 minimum here.
Now that you know you've had them since you were a child, would you like to put them up for sale?
I would like to entertain offers.
Good. We'll be happy to do that. John, which one do you want?
I want that the pink convertible.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thank you very much, Ray, for being with us.
That's great.
And our number to call is 212-802-0082 because those are going up for sale.
And Jackie has joined us. Come on in, Jackie. How you doing?
Hi, good.
Everybody treating you okay?
Yep.
Good, good. Tell us more about what you have here.
Well, it's a Goofy doll, and I bought it at an auction for about $7.
Oh, when? What? This year or recently?
I think about maybe half a year ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds like a good price for a Goofy doll.
Right.
And it has a little compartment in the back.
Yeah, that's fun.
We were looking at that earlier. There seems to be a compartment, but it's not clear what for.
Just a little stash. I mean, you could put your goodies in there, your little trinkets or treasures or whatever, and hide it. It's too small to be like a pajama.
A pajama, which was common, but that's, John's right, it is. These are marked, or labeled rather, Walt Disney character, copyright Walt Disney
Productions,
right. And by the, what is it, the company, Swedlin Company? Swedlin Company. From Brooklyn.
With the old country, of course. It's funny, not one of the most well-known manufacturers.
Not a Dakins or Dakins, however you
And if
pronounce
you
it.
look at the face, it's just a little bit different than your normal goofy face. So
Yeah, it
it's
is.
close. This could do one of two things. It could either be not as desirable because it's different, or more desirable because it's unique. Yeah, so it's a function of how you look at something like this, the kind of premium that you'll put on it.
Vinyl face that's painted too. We should
Painted
make note
vinyl,
of that.
yeah, but wonderful ears.
And this is from when?
From the 60s.
Yeah, it's in the 60s, just the design, the look of the label, just the script of the text, puts it right in the mid-60s instantly.
Yeah.
Value on something like this, I don't know. I'm tempted, I guess it's my number for the day, to go around 125 for it. I think it's a good number. It's a nice doll, in good shape, and everything seems to be here.
I'm going to be a little more conservative at
Well, you do
75.
that.
That's great.
What do you think, Jackie? Do you want to take some bids?
I'll take some bids.
We will let you know. Thank you for bringing that by.
You did very well for only $7. Thanks.
Very nice.
And Linda has something to be afraid, so Linda, come on in and join us.
Hi.
Good to have you with us.
Hello.
Did you get a good buy on something?
I don't know, but I collect Beatle memorabilia, so I just had to have it.
Oh, How long ago did you buy it?
I got that about 2 years ago, and I missed it when it was first issued in 1994, so I got it at a doll show. I saw it, and I was happy to find it then.
This is what you call really mint in box.
Oh,
It's mint in plastic, not taken out of the plastic.
We should point out that Linda saw the Beatles at Shea Stadium, and her seats were so far back that this was the actual size of the Beatles. Kind of brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah, I got to tell you, this is one of the worst things about aging, is watching things from your youth become something like a keepsake ornament, or to start hear their music on the Light FM station.
Right. The Keepsake did these ornaments when?
Well, this is the 30th anniversary of the Beatles' debut from 1964 to 1994, so that tells you precisely when it was done.
So they're fairly new, but as with all these things, even the new things become desirable and people want them. We've seen this phenomenon with the new Barbies, where initially we did not think they'd go escalating in price, and they have.
But these are designed to be collectible.
These are designed to be collectible, not hung or placed, but just that collected and put in a display shelf somewhere. So I think at some point these things are going to escalate in price. Right now,
I think actually they have a bit already.
Already?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Scary.
Because this is 1997, and as you said, you didn't get them when they first came out. You bought them a year later.
Do you remember what you paid for them?
Close to $50 for it.
Yeah, you did. Quite well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because these are selling to collectors in the $150 range now.
150, 175.
And
With the box and everything, it just holds that value.
Yeah, obviously. And you've kept it the way you should. In the plastic, in the box.
The question is whether you want to continue to keep it.
Because I bought two. I have one on display, and then I'll
This
sell
will
this
go up
one.
for sale.
Yes, it will.
And it brings back some good memories for you as well.
Uh-huh.
Oh, thank you so much for being here.
Okay, thank you.
We'll get everything back in the box.
We'll try.
$150, you said? Who needs the stock market? I mean, that is just amazing to me. All right, JD, I guess out there at FanFest, if anybody's having a lot of fun, it's JD.
Oh, I'd say so.
Yeah, you talk about fun, check this out.
John, it's a baseball lover's dreamland, and I am here with none other than Batman. No, it's not Adam West. It's Roy Conrad, who is a senior promotions representative for Rawlings. So but you're also a Batman. I mean, you actually make these baseball bats.
Actually, we hand-turn the bats for the Major League players, and we customize the bat for the Major League player. It's one thing good about this traveling workshop. We can take it right to the ballpark, do whatever the player wants with a piece of wood.
Now, how many bats does Rawlings make for the pros?
On the average, we do about 1,200 dozen bats a year just for the Major Leagues.
Wow. Okay, now show us how you customize these bats.
Okay, we'll always have a pattern made up for the player that we've done at the ballpark, and then it's just a matter of measuring this pattern every 3 inches. Let me crank this thing up here a little bit, and transferring the measurement over to the piece of wood on the lathe. After we get these measurements transferred, we can come back through with another tool called a gouge and shape in between, and actually keep about a 64th of an inch tolerance, plus or minus, on these bats.
Wow, and you have some examples of some of your customized bats over here, and how the ends are so different on the bat.
This is where it really gets different for a Major League player. When you start looking down at the knobs, you can see how much differently the knobs are made. Now on the bottom, we've got Tomei's bat, the black bat, and you can see it's got a big flare and kind of a rounded knob. That's because he hooks his little finger around the knob. Blouser, on the other hand, has a cone knob because he hooks his little finger under the knob, keeps that blister out of the palm of his hand. And then Franco's the top bat. You can see it's more of a standard knob. He's swinging real hard, and he wants something to kind of keep the bat in his hands.
That is great. And you come out on the road and you teach people how you make these bats, which is great.
Exactly. We love to show people exactly how that's done. With this today in age, they assume it's done with some kind of a computer machine. And then we always have the special bats we make up here.
The personal FX bat. Now, is this modeled after a certain player? I'm sure John will want to know.
Well, this is actually an old 288 RJ. It's a Reggie Jackson model.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Batman. Thank you for joining us, and we'll have to take this bat back to the apartment.
Yeah. The 288 RJ. Ah, yes.
Love it.
Once they get the 289 JB, I'm really going to be excited.
But there's another man who loves his job, the Batman.
Absolutely, the Batman, yeah. Boy, that's great. Stick around, folks. We have a lot more coming your way when Personal FX returns.
Welcome Welcome back to Personal Effects. It's been a fun show.
It has.
Oh, I like this All-Star FanFest.
Yeah.
Let's tell you about the items that are currently getting bid, starting with the ladies' watch that dates back to the 1930s. Generic of that time, 18-karat white gold with black enameling with an appraised value of $125 to $175. And for you Barbies collectors, we've got Barbies and we've got accessories. Barbell cut and ponytail Barbies in good condition. Clothes and accessories absolutely wonderful. $500 to $700 for all.
We also have the fruit knives and a mother of pearl handles, and this was appraised at $75 to $175 from the set from the Victorian era, and that was when there was a utensil for everything, including mayonnaise. That was amazing. Matchbox cars, we've got 5 of them here, and these are in remarkable condition. And it's a mix of British and American cars, so you're looking at about $50 to $75 each, around $250 for the lot there.
So if you'd like to bid on any of these items, here's what you do. You call us at 212-802-0082. We still have another appraisal to get to.
Yes, we do.
Susan, come on in. Nice to see you.
Nice to be here.
And what were you curious about knowing more about?
Oh, this perfume vial that I purchased at an estate sale.
How much did you pay for it?
$5.
This is very cool.
This is really cool.
The height of the manufacturing of perfume bottles was in the Art Deco and just prior to that, the Art Nouveau period in the early 20th century. And you have it the collection of perfume bottles actually broken down into several categories. One was the glass, some of the high-style glass companies like Steuben and Lalique and Tiffany. Then you had a lot of those that were commercially produced for perfume companies that were very, very stylish. Then you have rather unique ones.
And
like
that's what this really is.
Talk about more about the
Okay.
uniqueness.
This was made by a company called DeVilbiss in the 1920s. A French company, perfumery, did interesting characterizations. It's an American jazz singer representation. It's part of a series of 6 of blackface figures, top hats, singers. They're collectible in and among themselves, not just as perfumes, but also because they're black memorabilia.
Were there a lot of them manufactured at that time or just a limited amount?
As with all of these things, they're going to make a few thousand, I'm sure, but things like this get destroyed. We break the glass tube. We certainly always break the dauber.
And these are rather small.
These are rather small. These are purse packs.
Yes,
exactly. Made to be carried in an evening bag. Often the head gets broken off. So that's where the value lies. A very good friend of mine is short one of these. Not this one, unfortunately.
So it depends. If you are in need of one to fill out the series, it can be even more valuable than one would suspect.
Now, the manufacturer was French, but they had it made in Germany, which is interesting. So the Germany logo is on the bottom. And some of the design work, it should show gentleman's full-length waistcoat and some design on the bottom. So some of that is fading. But they are very, very desirable. And they came in different colors. Each one was a different color base as well. Value, probably somewhere around $250, $350.
Wow.
Yeah.
You had no idea.
No.
This is a pleasant surprise.
Sure
Pat, are you saying about the same range?
I would certainly agree with
We
John.
definitely have agreement on that.
Really cool.
Wow.
Now that you know, and we've gotten a couple of
Now I
wows
have
out
to
of
be
you.
careful.
She's got a decision, John, to make. Would you like to put it up for sale?
Yes, I would.
We'll be happy to do that.
Great.
Thank you so much for visiting
Thank
with
you.
us. I haven't seen one of those before
Yeah.
either.
That's great.
That's cool.
That's amazing. You know, you were talking about how fun it is out there at FanFest.
Yes.
If you're a collector, especially a beginning collector, you can find anything. I mean, they have anything to get your collection started. Take a look at this.
Hey, John, this is the baseball collector's dream location. I mean, if you collect baseball memorabilia, this is the place to be. Vendors they're selling everything. I mean, jerseys, look at this, street signs with the name of baseball players on it. Anything you want that has a player's name, face, or autograph, you could probably find here. How you doing? What's your name?
I'm Jeff. How you doing?
Good, Jeff. What do you have for sale?
The packs for the redemption, the Jackie Robinson redemption, Jackie Robinson bottles all the way from Southern California. And the hottest item we have, Jose Cruz Jr. autographed photos.
Wow, now why is that so hot?
Jose's hot right now. He's just been tearing up the American League.
That's great. All right. So as you can see, there are all sorts of things, and every booth has something different that's hot, John. Now, you're Rick? How you doing, Rick?
Just fine.
Now, what is hot? What's hot here today?
The All-Star pennants.
The
All-Star game.
pennant.
There's 2 different. People are buying them up left and right.
How many of these do you think you've sold today so far?
Oh, a couple hundred maybe. Sure.
That's pretty good. Congratulations. And the thing is, John, there are hundreds of thousands of people that are expected to attend the FanFest before it's all over with, so they have a lot of customers to choose from. Let's stop over here. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
My name is David.
David, what do you have for sale? What's a hot item?
Hot item is probably the pack redemptions. We do 5 cards from or 5 packs from each company for the Jackie Robinson redemption. Well, our second seller is actually the ticket holder. This will be utilized for the game ticket for the All-Star game. Quite a few people paying hundreds of dollars for tickets, and they want to preserve it because it's a nice keepsake. And we have it that fits that ticket.
That's great for collectors, and this is honestly one of your hottest sellers, just the holder.
Yeah, we probably sold about 1,000, and there'll be about, what, 40,000 seats, so we hope to at least get half of them anyhow.
Good, congratulations. And as you can see, there are adults and lots of kids. What's your name?
Oh, Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy. What do you have here? What have you picked up today?
Jackie Robinson.
A what?
Larry Doby, Jackie Robinson starting lineup. It's only made at the FanFest, so I thought it was really cool, and it might be worth something in the future.
And this is a great place to be for you, right?
But it's a kid's dream, man. Any kid should be here.
And as we're finding out, John and Claire, it's an adult's dream as well. So from Cleveland, back to you guys.
That's great. Jimmy's going to long remember this day.
It's a kid's dream, man. That's kind of surprising, isn't it? Just the holders for the tickets.
That's clever, because that can be not just for baseball, but for concert tickets. Any ticket collector can get those to hold that. That's wonderful.
It is clever.
That's clever.
So they'll stay in good condition when you bring them here to be appraised, right?
That's right. That's amazing. Well, of course, that's a good place to start your collecting. We asked some Major League Baseball players what started their collection. Here's what they said.
My first piece, probably, it was a Bob Feller baseball when I was in A-ball.
Probably my first piece of memorabilia was something from the Cubs. I was a Cub fan growing up.
I tried to get a Lou Piniella autograph, but he shunned me and wouldn't sign my autograph, and I'll never let him live that down either.
A George Brett bat. That was probably the first thing that I got back in the middle 80s when I was in the big leagues.
Isn't that something?
And you always remember what you didn't get, the autograph that got away.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we've got big bids coming for you next, so stay with us. Welcome back to Personal FX. It's time to get to those big bids. And let's start with you, Joanne. For the ladies' watch, Mike from Mount Vernon, Indiana, would like to offer you $210.
So,
Donna, for your Barbies and accessories, we have an offer from Deborah from Puyallup, Washington, for all $1,051.50. Sold! Another happy customer. And Bill, for your fruit knives, Rob from Ogden, Utah, is offering $200.
I'll give it some thought.
Let's get a think about it. Right, with the Matchbox cars, Paul from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania called in with an offer of $275. Sold. Sold it is. And Jackie with the Goofy doll, Denise from Renton, Washington called in with an offer of $100.
Sold.
Sold it is. Yeah. JD has done such a great job for us today. Let's give him one more chance to say goodbye and find out what's up for tomorrow. JD? JD, there you go.
We had so much fun on today's show. Look, we trashed the dugouts. That's it from the 1997 FanFest here in Cleveland, Ohio. We want to thank Sammy Haynes for joining us, as well as Pinnacle Brands for sponsoring this great event. Tomorrow we have another special show. It's an appraisathon. So we'll see you tomorrow.
And that appraisathon will be at the Huntington Reservation. It sounds like so much fun. I'm going. So that's where tomorrow we'll be at Huntington Reservation. Come on out and see us.
And Pat Dudley, John Bruno, we thank you so much for being part of our Ace Appraiser team. We hope all of you had a good time in the apartment. Yes, and to all of you at home, have a great day and a great appraisathon tomorrow.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
We'll see you back here tomorrow, everybody.
So long, everybody.